Hey everybody, this is my quick video to atheists. It's addressed to atheists, most of all. You know how when you see that guy, you walk down the street and you see that guy that's preaching away to a bunch of people on a street corner or something, or even when you're coming across a forum and you see that guy preaching and you think, oh God, here we go again. Well, when an atheist comes onto a forum and starts talking about how God doesn't exist to people who believe God does exist, they look at him the same way. And I think that an atheist should know that. And there's a lot of trolling creepers out there who don't seem to understand the respect and tolerance that people have. Nobody cares what you don't believe. Nobody gives a shit if you're an atheist. They really don't. And I don't understand what these, a lot of these guys are trying to get their point across as if they're going to convince people who have all this history of believing that they're wrong. I'm not religious myself, so I can state these things and look at from both sides of it. I consider myself an agnostic. However, I do believe in a spirit and a deeper meaning to the world, and I believe that there is an equation behind it, and there is a reason for existence beyond just natural selection. And by saying that, even stating anything remotely like that, I get attacked personally by atheists, and I find it kind of humorous because it's almost like they act like belligerent drunks. They're just trying to push themselves on everyone and try to prove something that they can't prove any more than anyone who's religious can prove. I think people should just start getting along a little better, because this isn't going to change. Nobody's going to change anybody else's point of view. This could go to the religious side, but I've already preached to those guys before I've had my say. But people who are atheists tend to be more scientific, have a scientific approach to things. So they tend to have more eloquent wording for things. As a generalized group of people who are very religious, who maybe don't have as much of an education, and so they can't defend themselves as well. And so atheists use it as ammunition to make themselves feel better and say, oh, here's another ignorant, God-fearing Christian. But I get lumped in with all those people just because I claim that there may be a meaning behind everything. And people will just jump down my throat and say, well, there's people killing babies and there's sacrifices going on and this and that. And I'm just like, grow up. I mean, is this the best we can do? Is this how these are the people that represent the non-believers? So why does it become a cult? Why are they so obsessed with pushing themselves? Why are you so obsessed with pushing yourselves on people? All I know is that I think from the heart. And by thinking from the heart, I've learned to cultivate faith in something bigger than myself, but not have to prove it as being any one thing or another. It's something that comes from the heart, and people will say, well, your feelings from your heart are invalid because they're not real. It's like, okay, well, that's, your opinion. It doesn't matter. What it all comes down to is what's working best for each individual. Now, if atheism works for you, that's phenomenal. If believing in God works for you, that's phenomenal. But to take it down to its root cause, if your belief is causing harm or injuring anyone else's feelings, or whether even if it's physical or emotional harm, then you're not living properly. You're not living right, because you're harming another human. So if an atheist comes onto a forum and says that, well, we can have peace without God, we don't have to have God, we can have a civilized world without God, your God is bullshit. Well, then they're just sitting there completely negating everything they just said by insulting someone else's belief. So any good atheist should know that tolerance is a big part of even atheism or religion. Tolerance has to be in every corner. So while, you might pick apart religion and say that there are all these bad points to it, I can agree with that. You don't have to lump everyone who believes anything bigger in as a douchebag that doesn't know anything. It just makes you look stupid. So anyway, enough said. Peace.